All right, and here we are at the Howe, Indiana supercharger station. We're going to get plugged in. It is a V3 supercharger, so we should get pretty good speeds. We're at 44%, but we just want to top up because there's a big gap in supercharger coverage, and we just want to make sure that we can actually make it to our next stop. And looking at it, we're currently getting about 125 kilowatt. Obviously, the battery's cold because it's pretty cold out. It's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. Oh, look at that, ramping up over 140. But yeah, we're gonna go grab some grub from the rest stop, and then once we are done eating, we'll unplug and see what percentage we're at. And then we'll plan the rest of our trip accordingly. Yeah, this car definitely looks like it's in a lot better cosmetic shape than our other one. There's no major paint chips or anything like that. We've got the extra set of 20-inch turbine rims as well. Let's go ahead and unplug and hit the road. So grab that, put that back. Charging port closes. And we're at 79%. Let's see where we can make it once we get going. And by that, I just mean let's see where we end up. All right, just pulled into the Wyandotte Service Plaza in Genoa, Ohio. And it's a V3 supercharger. Let's get out, let's plug in, and let's see how fast we charge. We've been ripping on the battery preconditioning for a while now. So, before I can even, right around when I get my door shut, we already start charging. See, look, it already is down to 35 minutes instead of 40. And then if I say continue, look at that. 209, 227, 243, 249, 250 kilowatt, just like that. Electrify America could never. All right, so we charged up to about 75% or so. Now, I did add in one additional stop before the next one that we were planning on stopping at. And the reason for that being we were already ramped down to about 73 kilowatt, and the next one's a V2 supercharger. So worst case scenario, we'll get exactly the same as what we were just getting. Best case scenario, we'll get about double that. It looks like it wants us to get there, or it's going to have us get there at about 28%. Yeah, everything looks good so far. I can't speak today. And this is going to be the story of the rest of our trip, just about. Plenty of snow showers to come. We're allegedly supposed to get about a foot to a foot and a half of snow at home within about 4 hours of when we're getting home. And by that I mean within the 4 hours after we arrive at home. And just like that, we're about to plug in, do a little top up real quick. Looks like we should only need about 15 to 20% to get there with at 5% at the 250. So, should be starting to charge here in just a moment. I'm curious to what we ramp to because there is a guy in the one next to us. So, let's see. Someone else unplugged, so now we don't have to share stalls. So, real quick. Let's start charging here and ramp up. Should ramp to 150 here pretty shortly. All right, already starting to drop power at 48%. We had ramped up to about 135 kilowatt. Looks like we've got about 12% to our next stop. So let's unplug and hit the road. And here we are about to drive by the Lordstown Motors, formerly GM plant. I know they've only made about 31 production units, of which they've had to recall 5 already. And there it is. There's their manufacturing plant. Can't see anything. I guess they don't have any large amount of vehicles sitting outside, unlike a lot of Giga Fremont does sometimes, or Giga Austin. And just pulling in with 13%. Let's get plugged in and get some really good speeds, and then go inside and grab some Advil. I've got a headache. What? Did they install this one backwards? That one's that way, but then all of the other ones have the cable start on the other side. No. They installed all of these flipped from all of the ones that I normally use. Weird. Because normally it's cable right here, you pull it down, you go plug in. Not cable over here, you pull it down and plug in. Is this Mandela effect? Anyways, V3 supercharger. We're probably already ripping at over 200 kilowatt. Ramping up really nicely. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be here too long. Obviously, it says about 25 minutes. We're going to be here less than that just because we're going to an Electrify America at our next stop, Walmart. And just like that, 11% arrival. So, I just got a snowflake in my eye. Let's go unplug and hit the road. Off to the next stop. And pulled up 13%, Electrify America. We have our CCS adapter. Let's get plugged in. And if you can't tell, we've been driving through some winter weather. That just looks hilarious. All right, it says initiating charging. We are, in fact, charging. Getting 127. Charging stopped. Alright, well, time to try the other handle and then the other stall if we continue to have issues. Well, let's try that again.
Wait.
127, 128 amps. 130. Well, let's take a look. And just like that, charging at 165 kilowatt on CCS at Electrify America. All right, we'll see. So this is in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a per minute charging state. So what that means pricing wise is that instead of paying per the kilowatt hour that we charge, we're actually paying, because I'm a Electrify America Pass Plus member, I'm paying 29 cents a minute. And especially when you're charging greater than about 45 to 60 kilowatt, that is significantly cheaper than supercharger pricing. So as long as we're above that rate, we'll probably just stay here sucking up as much juice as we can get for cheap. And just like that, 45 kilowatt hour added. We're up to about 78%. I'm gonna come around here and I'm gonna hit stop charging. And that's only gonna end up costing us $7.53. Not bad. And just pulling into a V3 supercharger here at an Urban. I will say, for at night, this isn't great because it doesn't look like there's a bathroom here. But let's go get plugged in. Looks like my father's gonna handle plugging us in. He left our turn signal on. Let's close that. And starting to charge. 25 minutes remaining to continue trip. We were preconditioning for a decent amount of time. Let's see what we ramp up to. We're at 18%.
That thing's cranking too, the charger.
Yeah, because it's got to cool the cable. It's a liquid cooled cable. Ramped up to 215 kilowatt. We might ramp up a little bit more as well. Yeah, looks like there we go. It's gonna slowly ramp up and probably hit around 250. It's not gonna hold, it doesn't hold this peak rate very long. I'm gonna run a battery health test on this once we get the vehicle home, but so far so good on the drive home. 252 kilowatt. Look at that, 253, 254. And just like that, time to walk it back down. Ish. Yeah. It literally, it does not hold it long. I mean, we're already up 4% though since plugging in. And just like that, 37 kilowatt hour later, unplugging and hitting the road. So far we've done about 500 miles and about 180 kilowatt hour. Off to our next stop. And just like that, here we are at another Electrify America, still in Pennsylvania, which again is a permanent state. So let's plug in and get some more juice. So far, so good. Thank you, EA, for the free session. Been here 8 minutes, about 19 kilowatt hour. Not bad. We'll be here probably till 90 or 95% or so. Obviously, we're not going to do a 100% charge, but we'll get pretty close. And we'll see if we can make Massachusetts where it's another per minute state, not per kilowatt hour. We just got a charging session error and rebooted the station, it looks like. So I'm gonna unplug and we'll see what happens. We'll see if this comes back online. Oh, I heard it lock. Let's see if I can clean the camera and get a little bit better of a shot for you guys. Oh, there we go. Let's see if this comes online here in a minute or two. All right, and it's back online. Let's try plugging back in. All right, trying again. It does not like that handle. Connecting to vehicle, initiating charging. Let's see if we actually start charging here in just a moment. I'm a little chilly. Sounds like contactors just clicked. And we are charging. So, slight delay on our charge, but we should be all set. So, I expected snow. I didn't expect this much snow. We're probably going to end up pulling off the road tonight. We're just trying to make it to the next supercharger, which is actually the Brewster supercharger in New York. Now, that one does have Magic Dock. If we make it there tonight, I'll take a look at it. If we make it there in the morning, I will also take a look at it then. But we're going to do our best to stay safe. We're going like 35 on the highway. And it's like this the rest of the way home. Another 4 hours worth of driving worth? 5 hours of driving worth? Something like that? Another about 300 miles. Hey, we found the rumble strip. I will say, all the vegetation's really, really, really pretty with all the snow on it. But this is what we see in front of us. To the side, calm, very nice. To the front, chaos. And so I get my first look at the Magic Dock adapter. We're not going to use it today, but Marquez Brownlee just did a video here, and there was a Lucid charging on that one, and I'm pretty sure he used the station we're about to use. I'm gonna unlock Magic Dock. We're also gonna plug in and charge on the standard charging NACS adapter, aka the Tesla supercharger handle. Now, we pulled in at 13%. We did not do a lot of preconditioning, so it'll be interesting to see what we get initially when we plug in. The roads are pretty bad. I mean, you guys can see how there's like an inch of standing snow. And just like that, we're getting over 100 kilowatt. Not bad. Can't complain for how little preconditioning we did. And just like that, I've activated it in the app. Huh! This thing looks pretty nice. Interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to be using it, but yeah, let's get that situated back up in there. Interesting design, Tesla. Got tons of snow accumulating here on the front. I mean, it's just improving the aerodynamics of the car, actually, even though we're carrying around significantly more mass. All right, so just like that, we're plugged into a level 2 for the night. We ended up charging to about 79% at our previous stop. We're gonna hit the road again in the morning. We are exhausted. All right, we charged to full last night. I forgot to get exactly when we unplugged, but we unplugged at 99%. And yeah, so we're just hitting the road again, and we're gonna head home. Nice looking Audi e-tron GT here in the snow. But yeah, looks like a pretty good car. It's basically a Porsche Taycan, same platform and everything, just an Audi instead of Porsche. All right, looking at it, we're about to plug into Electrify America. I'm gonna get us plugged in and everything, but we're at about 14%. We went about 140 miles and used quite a lot of energy in that time. We used a whole 55 kilowatt hour and 86% or 85%, something in that range. Let's get plugged in. And after about 45 seconds or so of waiting, we have started charging. We're only getting 87 kilowatt, which isn't the best. I may try another station. We'll see. So after some fighting around with Electrify America and everything, we decided to go back to our initial stall that only does about 89 kilowatt. Better than nothing, and still cheaper than paying per kilowatt. And yeah, this is all it does on this station. It just ramps up to 89 kilowatt, and that's it. Looks like we did manage to ramp up to about 97 kilowatt. We should be good enough to unplug here shortly. Gotta say, much as it sucks to drive in, it really is beautiful with all the snow. Alright, so the Tesla has plenty of power to get home, but our GV60 doesn't. I can't even get it to focus on it. Let's just roll down the window. Yeah, so we're just juicing up the GV60. It was at 4%, so we'll get enough to get home and then hit the road. And just like that, got enough to get home, so let's stop the charge. Come on. Stop charging. Unplug the connector. Come on. Put it back. Put the little flap back in. And hit the road. We're at about 30%, so that's plenty to get home. Man, I haven't been home in 36 hours, and it was only supposed to be a 12-hour drive. The snow really has messed everything up. And just got home with 17%. The entire trip was 972 miles, averaging 361 watt-hour per mile, with 351 kilowatt-hour used. We're going to charge her up to probably, we'll go with like 80-ish%. Should be pretty good. I got to charge the blue one again, and then our GV60 also needs to charge. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more in the future.